Yeah, this your home girl. Arabia Barbosa, number 4, which is County, New York. I'm in the motherfucking house. I'm in the motherfucking house. A shout out to the chat. Shout out to the motherfucking chat. It is what it is. 914, which is County, New York. We are in the motherfucking house. We're in the motherfucking house. I just fixed me a breakfast sandwich, so forgive me. Mm, 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 mm. It is what it is. Que lo que mi gente, que lo que mi gente. Those that don't understand what I'm saying, lo siento, no escupe, es mío. Estoy donde nada nunca se pasó. It is what it is, man. I gotta get ready to go to work in another couple of hours. So it's almost 12. So I got 2 hours to leave. Mm-hmm. Mm, this is good. Scrambled eggs with ketchup and mustard on the bread. That's all you gotta do. I love it. Mm. Hmm. But yeah, I am your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa, 914, which is town, New York. I'm in the motherfucking house right now. I'm getting ready to leave in a little while. Yeah, it is what it is. Shout out to the chat. Mm, it's a good breakfast sandwich. 3 scrambled eggs, ketchup, mustard on a bun. Mm-hmm. Cooked it myself. I ain't got no homegirl in here to cook for me. I ain't got no homeboy cooking for me. And this morning, when my money hit my direct deposit, you know what I did? I paid that light bill. Paid the light bill. Child, I paid so much money to that light bill. I should have did what it was advised to me to do, being down here, being in New York. Every time I got money, I would pay towards my utilities. And my utilities was being paid like this to come up with a zero balance. A zero balance. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the motherfucking chat. It is what it is. 914, which is County, New York. We are in the motherfucking house. And we doing our thing. We doing it. Regardless of people agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. Nobody on this app is really doing anything for me unless I call or text you and say, look, I need this done. I need that. I need you to help me. And there's only one person on this whole app been helping me. Ever since my job, boom, 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 only one person on this app been helping me. The rest of y'all just sat back and laughed. You thought it was funny. You thought it was a game. You thought it was a joke. Ain't no jokes here. Ain't nothing funny here. It is what it is. A shout out to the chat. Now, I'm close to 12 o'clock. That means that in 2 hours, I gotta leave and participate in my life. Participate in letting everything get paid like the way it need to get paid. Participate, appreciate, congratulate. It is what it is. Number 4, which is County, New York. I am your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa. You all know me from my big channel. It's 2 moderators that followed me from the big channel to this channel. And they still loyal to me to this day. Shout out to you. Shout out to you that remain loyal to me. Shout out to my new YouTube subscribers. Shout out to my new subscribers. And next week, I want to have a big thing going on, a big celebration. Even though we got 25 subscribers on this channel, it doesn't matter. It still needs to be celebrated. Still needs to be recognized and acknowledged. Shout out to all of you for helping me. Helping me, your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa, 914, Westchester County, New York. Yes. And you all did a wonderful job. Wonderful job. I got my do-rag on. That's going to come off. Getting ready to put my baseball cap on and go to the fucking job. My brims, the ones I pay for, is like $15 a piece. Clean them, wash them, clean them, make sure everything's straight with them, make sure the house is straight, make sure the house is clean, make sure everything is paid for. The electric is what I was really looking for to pay. And I got that this morning. Working 4 days last week. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. But before I got my pay, I was desperate. I was wondering. But there's only one person that respects that. We lived through the same experiences in New York, foster care system, all that. We did all that. And now we only clout chasing money. Clout chasing money. You know how powerful that is? I went through the bigger channel the other day. I listened to some of those videos and I couldn't believe what I heard. Some of it was like, but it all came from my heart. All of it. All of it was me, whether I was drunk, sober, or not. Either or. My true self was always going to show through. Shout out to the chat. 914, which is County, New York. I am your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa, 914, Westchester County, New York. Shout out to Yonkers. Shout out to Yonkers, New York. Shout out to Yonkers, Mount Vernon, White Plains, Portchester, Peekskill, Bronxville, Scarsdale, Terrytown, Valhalla, Sleepy Hollow, and let's not forget about the five boroughs. Let's not forget about the five boroughs. From deep down in my Cape Verdean American heart, Cape Verdean American heart, Cape Verdean, you know what that means? Does anyone know what that means? I think not. I think some of you don't know what that means. Cape Verdean. Some of you don't even know where Cape Verdean is at. Some of you don't know where the Cape Verdean Islands is at. Cape Verdean is in Northwest Africa. That is where my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, father came from. Her mother was a Mohawk Indian, a Mohawk Native American, great grandma Barbosa. She grew up in those residential boarding schools they had for the Native American children. Oh, yes, she survived. Her sister survived. They came back into the world. My great grandmother, Barbosa, did whatever she had to do to survive. She never forgot the lessons her mother taught her grandmother taught her. Great grandma Barbosa became a healer, became a reader of cards. She was a practitioner of a true belief system. Yeah, even though she went to that school, it never stopped her. Never stopped her. She went out into the world. She met my great grandfather, Barbosa. He came from the Cape Verdean Islands. He was only interested in marrying a real woman. And she was real. She was more than real. She was awesome. She was wonderful. She was opulent. She was fierce. She stood on her own square. She did what she had to do. She had her children, and she had to sit through a lot of bullshit in her life. Very wonderful woman, very beautiful. I got her nose. I got her nose. I got her. I got her cheekbones. Everything else comes from her husband, because she married someone from the Cape Verdean Islands, Northwest Africa, 10 little islands over there in Africa. Shout out to the chat. Some of you know what I'm talking about, some of you don't. Some of you will never know what I'm talking about. This channel, I'm getting ready to build this channel from the ground up. And I need all of my subscribers, whether you're here or not, like and share the video. I appreciate your view. I appreciate your support and love of this channel and of me. Arabia Barbosa. Barbosa is my grandmother's maiden name. I was not raised under my grandmother. I was not raised under my father or none of my true relatives in New York. I was raised in the fucking foster care system of New York. And Kelly G, thank you for coming in. Thank you, baby girl. Hope everything is well with you. And thank you so much for supporting this channel. There's a lot of you that's been supporting this channel for a while. A whole long time. 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't care how long this channel been up. You've been supporting this channel. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I got to go to work. It's almost 12 o'clock. I had 2 hours to leave from now this house. Everything is paid for. Phone bill, electric, rent, everything is paid. I paid everything 2 o'clock this morning. Yep. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Nothing stops me. But it's a new lesson being learned today. A new lesson. And I'm not sure what's going to happen after today or this weekend, but I appreciate everyone for coming over. And I want to do a celebration next week. Next week, I'm going to do a celebration. I'll get in touch with one of my moderators. We'll set up the celebration. And we'll probably not do it next week. We'll probably do it the week after. So I'm going to go and get in touch with one of my moderators, and we will set up the celebration. We will have a celebration over here. There will be a Cash App giveaway. Hopefully, because I'm going to do one of my riddles. I'm going to do one of my riddles. Those of you that know me, you know what riddles I'm going to ask. You know what I'm going to talk about. So it's going to be a riddle of $100 in 2 weeks. Not next week, but the week after. So in 2 weeks, it's going to be a riddle, Cash App, a donation. And that's what I used to do on my big channel. Yes, we used to do the Cash App giveaways. My moderators remember it very well. They remember it very well. But I'm going to ask questions that y'all probably will never guess. Those that come close to the answer will be paid $40. That's it. Those that hit the comment section when I go live, you will be paid $20. So when I do my Cash App giveaways, I do them very well. I do them very discreetly, very fairly. Only thing you got to do is go back through the big channel. The big channel will tell you exactly what I'm going to ask and how I'm going to ask it. But this time it's going to be a twist. It's going to be a twist. And the only ones that know me real well will be able to figure it out. Shout out to the chat. I'm not going to do no riddles about no music or nothing like that. Only things that people that know me will know what I'm going to ask. You know what I'm going to ask? No one will know the answer. No one can figure out the answer. I've been through this before, had a big turnout plenty of times. I used to do these Cash App giveaways plenty of times. It is what it is. 914, which is County, New York. But yes, I'm going to shout out to my YouTube creators, my subscribers, my new subscribers, because I got a bunch of new ones. I got people that cannot slide in my DMs because I don't have an Instagram, not on this not on this new account of this phone or any of my new devices. Because what I'm going to do, because everything is getting ready to go brand new, I'm getting ready to paint the whole apartment. The whole apartment got to get painted. Everything has to be painted over. Um, Instead of that table being there, I'm going to get me a pool table. A pool table. So me and my people can come in here and play pool. Yeah, a shout out to the chat. Those that know me for years can come into this house, play pool, eat whatever they want to eat, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is. Got to branch out. Got to do something different. It's not going to be right away, but little by little. And shout out to the chat. Yeah. But I deserve it. hmm I'm going to do a tribute to my father and my great grandmother. Two people. Sergeant Christopher Regan, I'll do her tribute a little bit later on, but it's going to be done. A shout out to the chat. I am your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa, number 4, which is County, New York. I'm sleepy as fuck. I didn't get paid. I got direct deposit. I didn't get my money until like after 1 o'clock this morning. So I've been up ever since 1 o'clock, paying whatever bill was in this house, paid, paid, paid. Everything's paid. That's what I'm supposed to do, right? That's what I'm supposed to do, right? hmm Yeah. I'll be going back to New York around July, probably at the end of June, because I'm gonna put in for it now to go back to New York at the end of June. I'm gonna be there for 3 days, and I'm just gonna chill with my people. That's all I'm gonna do. Shout out to the chat. It is what it is. 914 Western County, New York. But thank you for one of my moderators. Well, two of them for being close to me. But like I said, it was only one person on this app I could actually call and say, look, this and that is happening. Boom. They don't question me. Never question me. Because they've been knowing me for quite some time. Shout out to the chat. And that's why I enjoy. And I'm going to give them their flowers. Celebrate them. Especially when I go to New York. And shout out to the chat. It is what it is. 914, which is County, New York. I'm out of here. Unless someone wants to hit the the link. The link is always dropped, but it's not dropped for trolls. Now, as this channel grows, because of who I'm affiliated with on YouTube, those trolls are going to come in. They're going to try to destroy me. They're going to try to palm bomb me and all that. We went through this all before on my bigger channel a couple of months ago. I'll never forget it. Never forget it as long as I live. Shout out to the chat. It is what it is. I'm out of here. Kelly G, thank you for coming in. Baby girl, I know you're busy. I know you're doing very wonderful things. I know you're always busy. You and quite a few other people are busy. Y'all got your own lives. You do what you need to do. Shout out to the chat. We respect that. We respect that. I respect it. As far as I know, everything is going good. I don't care. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna say what I want to say, but I'm going to be respectful. I'm not clout chasing no other YouTuber. I cannot afford to clout chase other YouTube creators. Even if they do a video about me or say disparaging things about me, I cannot care about that. My care is not about what they say about me. It's not about that. It will never be about that. They can't do anything to harm me, anything to make me look bad or make me look crazy. It is what it is. I went through what I went through. I experienced what I had to experience. I know what kind of person I am. I know how I get down. I know what I do, what I don't do. I know what I like, what I don't like. And those that are my YouTube creators, I will continue to support you. I will continue to be in your chats. I will continue to be Arabia Barbosa, number 4, West County, New York. I am what they call the BT 1000, Lucy the Vampire, the Jeeper Creeper on this shit, the German Shepherd in the room. But those of you that know who I truly am, you know who I truly am. I don't have to run behind those titles. I don't have to run. I don't have to run to anything that's going on in this YouTube app. Whatever's going on in this YouTube doesn't affect my real life. Doesn't affect me. Not what nobody thinks, not what nobody says, not what nobody sees, nothing. Shout out to the chat. Kujanai Mimi, Kula Jakula, Miji Baridi, Nini Kuzimu Kila Wakati. Estoy donde nada nunca se pasó. If you don't understand what I'm saying, lo siento, no es culpa, es mío. Dios mío, abre la puerta. It is what it is. A shout out to the chat. New York is in the motherfucking house. New York is here. In New York, we always return back to where we came from. I will always go back to my home in New York, where I came from. 3-day visit. That means I got to go through different parts of Westchester County. That means I got to go through the South Bronx. That means I gotta go to Harlem, New York. That means I gotta go back to Brooklyn. That means I got 3 days to do everything as quick as possible. And when I'm finished, go back to Penn Station and get back on the train and come back to South Carolina. South Carolina is not my home. It will never be my home. Never be my home. No Cape Verdeans are in South Carolina. It's only me, my brother, and probably a few other relatives. But this is not our home. New York is our home. Boston, Massachusetts is our home. Providence, Rhode Island is our home. Connecticut is our home. California is our home. The Cape Verdean Islands, Northwest Africa is our home. Shout out to the chat. Because, I remember when Donald Trump first came into his presidency, he went into the White House. And you know what I did? I called my grandmother. And I said, does this mean that we have to leave? We have to leave New York? We have to leave from New Jersey and Connecticut and wherever we at to go back to the Cape Verdean Islands? Does that what it means? She said, oh, baby, you was born here in the United States. My grandmother was born here. My father was born here. I was born here. My siblings, children were born here. But we are still Cape Verdean Americans. We're still Cape Verdean Americans. Me, 5-generation New Yorker. 5 generations. The woman that brought me into this world, she's from South Carolina. But we don't count her. We don't count her at all. We don't acknowledge her. We don't think that she's important. This woman is not like any other woman I've met in my life. How do you have 5 children and give them to the same system that you said was oppressing you? The same system that you said was the enemy. No way. No way in the world. But the woman that raised me taught me from little girl up. If you have children and you give your children away to the system, that means that you are a race traitor. You are a traitor. Well, thank God I never got pregnant. Never got pregnant. Never had not one child. Doesn't mean that I don't wish I didn't have at least one. At least one. Because before I started going through menopause, I was like, at least give me one child. But it never happened. I was hoping it would have happened while I was in my 40s. It was already too late. Because when I was in my 40s, I started going through menopause. That means my menstruation cycle was getting ready to turn off. I went to the doctor. He said, your menstruation is cutting off. There's nothing we can do unless you want to, take some eggs out and get them frozen, and then later on, I'd be like, it'll be too late then. I don't want my child to be 20 years old and I'm 70 years old, 70, 80 years old. And what if my child have children? There's nothing I can do for them. I ain't gonna be like that. Shout out to the chat. I am your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa. And I've talked about the LGBT community very distinctly, about the divisions that's going on in the LGBT community. And I told it. I told it. And you know what happened when I told that truth? People were trying to get in touch with me, trying to call me and tell me to shut down those videos. I'm not going to shut down nothing because I told the goddamn truth. As far as my experience remembers, as far as I know, the LGBT community does not agree with a lot of stuff that the government has passed. They don't. We have plenty of people in the LG and the gay community that fought against certain things. And I remember when I was young and I was going through the experience I was going through, and I considered transitioning from being female into being male. And I thought about it. I knew I had the insurance to pay for it when I was living in New York. And basically, during that time in my life, I was encouraged to transition. And I said, how can I transition? And I lived this experience for like 20 years, 30 years. I said, Arabia, no more menstrual, no more periods. Your estrogen is getting ready to give out. In a few more, maybe another 2 years, the voice will get deeper. But it's not because I took pills to deepen my voice or nothing like that. It's just that I'm going through the change of life. And that is normal for women. Even though I never had any children. But one thing I do remember, my mother that raised me, she had those medical books in her home. And it explained about sexual reassignment and the procedure. It's a it's a pill therapy procedure. It's the therapy for your emotional and mental health. And there is the physical aspects of everything. And I just could not see me doing the surgery. And plenty of people in the community, the gay community, that went through those procedures, a lot of the women that transitioned to being men, they are experiencing medical difficulties. See, the media don't tell you about that. Nobody tells you about that. I'm the only one that might can tell you about that. I got a sister living in New York right now, and she's living the bisexual life. I think she was always bisexual when she was young. Certain things were done to her, just like it was done to me. And but she went a different route. She went a different route. Her route is much more difficult than my route. See, she has children. I have no children. Okay, and I look at it and I said to myself, baby, if you was to sleep with a younger man and you're healthy, you're good, and let's say you was to get pregnant, I'm 51. That means by the time my child is 20 years old, I'll be way in my 70s. And that's not fair to the child. That's not fair. Not at all. Not at all. Because I remember growing up in New York and people questioning me if the woman that used to come to the PTA meetings or this and that, if she was really my mother. I was like, yeah, she my mom. But I knew the truth. I knew she really wasn't. She was just raising me. She wasn't my mother. And when she died in 2019, that proved the point. Because it was a messy inheritance what she did. And it is what it is. A shout out to the chat. But thank God for the women on YouTube. Whether I agree with you or not, whether I sat in your chats or not, if I ever listened to your voice and paid attention, I knew the truth. And the only thing I had to do was accept the truth for myself. And I had to go through it. I had to go through the change. I had to go through the hurt and the pain. I had to go through certain people in my family uh, no longer here. But the children that they had at that particular time recognized. And I said, my God, but I can't worry about the past right now. I gotta worry about what the future is going to bring. What the future is going to bring. Because I believe, this is what I believe. I believe if I live out my purpose, whoever is supposed to go in a certain position in this life can't do it unless I go through what I gotta go through. I gotta go through the wind. I gotta go through the fire. I gotta go through my past. I gotta go through the present. I gotta go through everything. And there's only one other step I gotta do. One other step that I'm totally unaware of. I don't even know what step this is. But I do know when I make it, the other person coming behind me is going to take their place. They're going to get what they need to get. And Arabia Barbosa job will be done. I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know how. I don't know who that other person is. I don't know. I don't know who they are. I probably never met this person. Probably will never meet them. But there's one step I gotta make. One more. And once that is completed, once that is done, the other person, whoever that person is coming right behind me. And they will get into their place. And once they are in their position, then Arabia Barbosa can sleep. Sleep. Shout out to the chat. I'm out of here.